So yeah, welcome to Willow Dance Studio.
Thanks for
This
having
is
me. So exciting.
so this is where we would train in the week, Monday to Thursday.
Yeah.
Your partner would generally come to a dance studio, suitable dance studio near where you live. Friday, you would then go up to L Street, which is where Strictly's filmed, and you get to do 3 runs on the floor. That's all you get to do on the floor. So that's your nerves. It's getting used to the lights. It's
Yeah, of
the
course.
cameras picking up where you're going to be so that they know
Yeah.
can get the right shots. The choreograph might give you a couple of tips here and there, and then you're into a lot of the admin, kind of the media. You're doing the VTs. You're obviously catching up with the rest of the contestants, which is great fun. I formed a brilliant partnership and friendship with Vicky Patterson,
I can
which is
imagine.
and then I mean Saturday is a big day, and it's Saturday is quite an interesting one because obviously the show's on 6:30ish. We probably get there about 9 in the morning. Sometimes the ladies get there about 8 to do more hair and makeup stuff, and then you get to do 2 runs with the band because it's live performance.
Yeah,
so
of
you
course.
don't see the or feel the band music until that. Do 2 runs on the floor with them, then that's done. Then you have a bit of a rest. You then do a full dress rehearsal. So you obviously try your outfits on, but your outfit might be different to what you wear. So they might be like, actually, it doesn't work on the camera, or this doesn't look right. We need to change trousers.
Yeah,
They make it
of
there.
course.
Costume's amazing. But you do like practice questions with Tess, Claudia, but you don't see the judges. They're
Oh,
fake judges, so you
really?
don't see the judges at all until
Until the
whereas
news.
Tess and
Yeah.
Claudia like interact a bit. And then you have a bit of a break again. You then do the live show. Which is it could be about 2 hours. You find out your order the night before once they see everyone because they want to see the flow of the show. So then you probably finish at about 8:30. Um, Probably have about an hour and a half ish off. Then we actually record Sunday night show on the Saturday night. So then
Wow.
all the voting's happening. So then we all go back onto the stage, obviously the elimination. So if you're in the dance off, you're probably not actually dancing to 11 p.m. that night. So
That's
you've got at
unbelievable.
9 in the morning. You've been up and down. You have
All day.
warm up marquees outside. Yeah, so it's a long day.
That is a long day. What was the latest you finished?
So I mean, you're probably getting home about 2 in the morning. Yeah,
Wow.
for me, it's not that close either. But you're getting out there about 12:30 by the time everything wraps up, and then
That's
you want to have a
insane.
catch up with everyone. Some people are happy, some are sad with how the performance has
Yeah,
gone.
of course.
But yeah, so so then obviously if you're in a dance off, and unfortunately I was in twice, you have to mentally prepare yourself to dance
You have to ramp back
after
up
being
again.
there all
Yeah,
day. Yeah,
exactly.
and because people are seeing it on a Sunday and they only see you for whatever that window is, a 5 minute window, you've got to be on, you've got to be ready, and you don't want to go out. So you want to put in a great performance, you want to be warm. Our last one, there was a lot of lifts as well. So safety wise,
Of course. It's
we needed,
really
it's dangerous. Like Nadia's head was close to the floor, she was on my shoulders, all that kind of
wow.
stuff. So we couldn't risk being tired at all, or
No,
mentally
exactly.
fatigued and all that stuff. So you generally see the guys and girls who are at the top of the leaderboard after the live show having pizza, relaxing, and unfortunately us down the bottom are taking it easy.
You've got to kind
Yeah,
of
well, we've got to
mentally
warm
prepare.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
exactly.
I was like that. I was very much like, and Nadia was saying, look, we're near the bottom of the leaderboard. Let's just mentally think. If we're in a dance off, let's be ready. If we're not, it's amazing, of course, but let's just be prepared in case, because it's a tough place to be.
And in terms of performance time, what was preferred? Was it start or kind of end of the show?
I preferred not opening,
Yeah.
but being early on, because I think you're thinking about your routine the whole time. You're thinking about the steps, especially for a non-dancer.
Yeah,
In my head,
exactly.
I'm thinking about that. So I always like to be early. And look, people say different things, and I don't think it actually means too much. People say, "Oh, if you're towards the back end, then maybe you're closer in the voter's memory and stuff like that."
There's
Whereas if you
loads
get
of different
lost
theories, aren't there?
yeah, I don't think it has a massive impact because they recap everything, they put everything on social media. Um, but what's interesting is actually, yes, my moves could have been smoother and more rhythm, but I can't address that. But what I'm really pleased with in the 4 dances, I didn't mess the steps up, and I think actually rugby has a massive part to play in that because we're a very structured sport. We go from
course,
especially forwards lineouts. We go from lineouts to set plays to patterns to variations of patterns of play. So actually, remembering a structure of the dance, I could do. Could I make it look like a dancer? Some work still to do.
I think you did really
There you
well.
go, one year, a good mate of mine. He did 5 weeks, but he had a buy to get into a 5th week. So I say we only danced the same amount of time, so we drew.
You do?
We drew, yeah.
It's pretty even.
So
I don't know
I'm
what
quite
Ugo would say about that. I think
I saw him the other night, actually. I saw him the other night. We went to Pride of Britain, which is obviously an amazing,
it looks incredible.
Heartwarming and all that. But you go around the room, and so many of the other people, the celebs and stuff, have done Strictly.
Yeah, of course. You
don't
forget
realise
how
how big
many
it
people
is.
actually
Yeah.
go on it. Yeah, no, it's true.
And everyone I've met has spoken so positive, and I do as well. Like, it was great. Of course, I'm gutted to be out. But it was great.
What do you think surprised you the most? What was the biggest shock to the system?
Probably how nervous I was.
Really?
I was so nervous. Yeah, I was. Especially, I opened the series.
Yeah, I did see. Yeah.
I'm not a dancer. I've got no rhythm. I can't like click or count in time. Well, count I can, but and yeah, to open it, and I was quite hesitant about going on it because of those reasons. I can't dance. I mean, my friends, my wife all found it so funny I was going on the show. So then to go on it and then open it, I didn't sleep the night before.
Really? But you're used to playing in front of like.
Honestly, I was more nervous doing that than playing with Twickenham.
You're joking. Really?
It's so out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
So the performance element, obviously the dance element.
Of course.
But it's a bit of a shame because my improvement and working with Nadia, who was an amazing teacher, and breaking stuff down for me and making me enjoy it. And by the 4th show, 3rd, 4th, I loved going. I loved what I wanted to get out on that dance floor.
Yeah.
And it suddenly changed, but it takes a little bit of time. It's such a, and of course then you get analysed by the judges.
Of course.
Then there's a possible dance-off or play-off, I call it. And a lot of people are out watching, so you want to do a good job.
Exactly. Would you say that was the biggest hurdle for you to overcome, was just those nerves?
Well, yeah, nerves were a big one. I remember early on, one of the first shows, the day before, I think it was the 2nd show, I had the worst run. I didn't sleep well in the day before, the Friday. I had the worst run. I was knocking into her, and I was just completely off. She was like, "What's happened to you?"
Yeah,
I just had a bit of a meltdown, and then luckily it kind of went out my system. And then coming Saturday, it was okay. But it was just so different.
So different, yeah.
So Chris, tell us about your pre-match, shall we call it, pre-match rituals. What was there? How would you warm up?
Yeah, pre-match was very different here to what I did before. Obviously, a lot of stretching. Actually, sometimes they would almost take the mick out of me because I would have my massage gun. I'd have my O&A tights on underneath with my calf sleeves and stuff like that.
Back
I wanted
to game day.
Yeah, exactly. But slightly different. We myself and Nadia started doing TikTok dances, and I was so bad at them, and she would always want to do like more advanced ones than I knew I was capable of, and I was like, no, let's just do kind of 4 or 5 moves. But what was nice is she was so friendly, and she would get the crew in, so the camera crew, the coordinators, the training researchers, all. So she got everyone involved, which was really nice. So yes, people were here.
It just lightens you up, doesn't it?
Just like, and actually, like I'd never done a TikTok dance before, and all of a sudden I was doing 2 a day, like warming up in the morning, warming up in the afternoon. And actually, you know what? They were brilliant because they got the blood going, they got everyone happy. We all had a bit of a laugh, and then we got into it.
Did you have a favourite? Which was the favourite?
I don't know. Like I keep getting told it's like some sort of Taylor Swift one or Sabrina Carpenter. Or I do love Taylor Swift.
So we were chatting about kind of the biggest hurdles you overcame, but what made you kind of go out of your comfort zone in the first place? What pushed you? Be honest, was it your wife?
Yeah, I mean, she wanted me to do it for sure. A couple of things. Like I think since I retired, and when sports people retire, you lose a bit of that drive, that stepping out your comfort zone, and all that. And for me, I wasn't say I wasn't doing things well or pushed myself, but not really challenging myself and not really putting fear into myself. So for me, it was a bit of that. It was to learn a new skill, and actually learn a new skill with a world class or 5-time world champion isn't a bad option. And I think, look, I'm almost 40 now. You get to that age and people say, yes, want to develop whatever. But you do like an hour of French a week. You know what? We don't properly dive in.
Yeah.
So for me, it was about diving in. And anyone they say you shouldn't speak to people, but I obviously had to get approval from workplaces, and I just had to sound people out. And not everyone I spoke to said I had to do it. Not one person said a bad word about it. Not one person said you shouldn't do it. And I was the only one a bit hesitant. So so we went all in, and I've loved it actually. Yeah, it's been really enjoyable.
When did you get asked to go on? What does the kind of process look like?
So when did we start? So in the summer, at some point, you have like an official or like an interview, basically.
Yeah.
Have an interview with them. They suss you out. You suss them out, and I'd spoken to them loosely before, but I probably wasn't in the right headspace to really, because you've got to sell yourself, of course.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's a massive show. Everyone wants to do it. And this time I was like, yeah, I'm willing and up for this and giving it a go. And I went, and then you don't really hear anything. They go back to TV execs and whatever else. They get sign off and say, because they're like a bit of a criteria as well. When these shows they do, whether it be a sportsman, reality, radio, TV, like they have a couple of things they want to piece together. So then, they came back, and I think I got announced actually before I signed my contract.
Really? God,
Because
that's
it all
interesting.
happened so quickly, because then they don't want things to get released and all
of
that.
Course.
And I know it's not a massive, because you see rumors and bits and people can piece stuff together. But yeah, so then it got announced, but then there's a lot of admin. So I went to Twickenham. I did my profile piece at Twickenham, which was great. And it was really interesting. They said to me, we don't want a sports person. We know the sports people we say our please and thank yous, we toe the line, we get on whatever, because you don't want that kind of, if you perform badly, everyone to be like, oh, why are you mucking around doing TikTok dances?
Yeah,
or
of course.
Why are you at the cinema? Or just,
there's a lot of stigma around it.
And they're like, we want to see you. You're on a show because we want to see you. And the public, that's what they kind of bind to, the person and who you are. And it's not to mean you go out and fake anything, but you just show who you are, which is a really nice way of how they put it. And I think, look, the more I was in it, the more I got into it, and you're around different people from different walks of life, whether that be TV or radio or performance.
Yeah.
And it's very different to sport.
Yeah,
it's very different. To sport.
Yeah, exactly.
But so then we started doing the profile pieces. We had basically a meet and greet as well. Had a meet and greet with all the contestants, all the pro dancers, but all like the admin team and producers and all that kind of stuff. And we had like a speed dating round.
No way.
So all the guys and girls were separate, but when the guys were doing it, we all were in the middle doing a dance, a couple of basic steps, and then every kind of 5 seconds, the dancers would rotate round, or 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So then they kind of piece up, okay, who works together, who's similar height, who's colouring, who has a nice link, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then about a week after that, then you have a big reveal. You meet your partner for the first, or on camera for the first time, and then you're into it really.
How did you feel getting popped to that with Nadia? She seems incredible. She's just
it's
remarkable.
She's incredible, and we've formed like a real nice friendship now as well. And I think for us as well. And look, I didn't know any of them really. I'd met the odd one through someone else I knew, a friend of mine. But I didn't really know any of them. So you have a bit of an initial dance and chat, but it's still trying to get comfortable with people and understanding. And once you're into it, and what was great is we're in very similar ways of life and walks of life. We both have children. We're both at kind of a similar age. We're both very professional. We're both formed a great friendship as well. And we actually went out for lunch with my wife as well yesterday.
Oh, that's so lovely.
And look, I think we will stay like that, and we'll continue to do bits. And we go back to the final. We'll dance again.
That's brilliant.
I don't know she'll be happy to see the back of my feet trembling on her feet or anything. But no, she was an amazing, and also the way she breaks stuff down. Because obviously every year she gets someone, they're different.
Of course.
Different personalities, different way of learning, different way of understanding. But no, it was great.
Obviously, you think, you've learned a lot from her. Is there anything you think that she's learned from you?
I don't know. I mean, possibly, but we'd always get to about half 3, 4, and she would just see my eyes, and my eyes would just be like, okay, I'm done.
Done. You've hit
Yeah.
the point where
I've hit a
it's
wall
done now.
where nothing else is going in now, and it's like, yeah, that's enough.
And what do your boys think of it? What have they thought of all of this?
You know what, my boys, because for the first time actually, she brought her daughter as well involved, and we did a VT with our kids dancing, and
That's
it was
so
lovely.
lovely.
But the nicest, and it'll be a core memory for life now, is one of the weekends I got to dress up. It was movie week, and I got to dress up as a superhero 4. And my kid, for some reason, all of a sudden got obsessed with it. And then the Sunday asked the costume team if after the show I can bring the costume back. So Sunday morning I've got the full hair on again, the hammer,
That's brilliant.
everything on, and we basically played all day dressed as 2 superheroes. So
I bet they absolutely loved that. That's definitely going to be a cool memory for them.
And it was, and it's stuff like that, which of course the show's amazing and stuff, but it's those added things like that which make a difference. And also amazing, like the costume team, the makeup team are the best in the business.
If we actually touch on rugby now, I mean, Quins was your club, 300 caps, was it? Just remarkable. Kind of, what are your thoughts around your career?
Yeah, look, it was my being a local guy to the club and supporting the club as a kid, to captain them, to win stuff with them, to play 300 games is, I mean, it's more than I ever dreamt about. And look, I always wish them well. I always support them as much as I can and get back and see them and follow them. But yeah, look, it'll always be a fun place in my heart. My kids have got a couple of Quins tops. I probably don't go as much now as life progresses, and family progress and all that kind of stuff and bits and bobs. But no, it's always a fun place in my heart, and I always get welcomed with kind of open arms. So yeah, I always like going back. If
there is a kind of piece of advice you could give to the younger boys in this pathway now, what would you say to them?
Yes, it's a good question. I think there's no shortcuts. There's no shortcuts. There's no one. You've got to be resilient as well. You've got to work hard. You've got to stay there, because no one goes like that and just stays there. People have a bit of an up and down and up and down and up and down. But you've just got to keep on turning up. You need good people around you, of course. But yeah, just stick with it. It is tough. Okay, it's tough as well, especially when you, and I was the same, you want it so much.
Yeah.
Some are going to make it, some aren't going to make it, and it's not an easy position to be. I remember I got picked up by Harlequins when I was about 17, which was amazing. I remember after about 2 or 3 years, I broke my foot twice. My first year, the following year, I broke my leg. The year after, I did my ACL and all my knee ligaments, and I'm thinking, you know what, my body's not, and your body has to be, yes, you need certain things, but your body has to be durable. I remember being in tears, like, to my mum on the phone, just thinking, you know what, I think this is probably it. Like, the club will think, you know what, he's a bit injury prone, all that stuff. And luckily, Dean Richards at the time came and spoke to me and said, look, we fully support you. Do your rehab, get stronger. He said, you need to put a bit of bulk on up top. And it allowed me that time just to get in the gym. It was horrible. I was on this rope machine for about 6 months, and that's all I saw. My hands were blistered up to bits. Look, it's tough. It's tough in all sports and all walks of life when people want to go well. And yes, some people make it, but unfortunately some don't as well. Post show, I was probably a bit more emotional than I thought. Like, Saturday night, I was kind of okay. And I knew I was out on Saturday night, and obviously it becomes public on Sunday. And the amount of messages, the amount of support I had has actually been amazing. It has reminded me of when I retired from rugby. It's that kind of overwhelming feel, people wishing you good luck and all the best, and people saying, you know what, I did all right on the dance floor, which is, and the rugby guys say to me, and it's probably the best they're going to give me, is, you're better than I thought you'd be. Which I think for them, and they've seen me on nights out and all that kind of stuff, they're all like, oh my God, I can't believe how far you've come and the transformation. Look, that's a lot of credit to Nadia for the work she did. But yes, some moves, but a lot of it is confidence in my head to go out there and really embrace that Strictly experience, and the fake tans or the spray tans, the sequins, because you've got to go all in. You've got to go all in, and you can't. And you know what? I really enjoyed it. Gutted to be out. I'll be back for the final. I said I'm coming from my spray tan.
Exactly. We're all going to be there cheering
yeah.
you on. It's going to be amazing. But yeah, thank you so much for this, Chris. You've been an absolute star.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you.